Hi, and welcome to This Fat Girl Life, a podcast about self worth, loving yourself, and body image. I am your host, Kim, and tonight we're going to be talking about the Letters to Myself project. This is a project that I have created on Facebook. It is a once a month workshop that I do in a private Facebook group. I'm going to be telling you about what the different letters are, how it works, all that good stuff. Before I get started, I do want to thank you guys so much for being with me and for supporting this broadcast. If you would like to be a supporter of this broadcast, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/, this fat girl life. And that is right there in the comments and on the screen for you. Your support allows me to continue this podcast um, and hopefully reach tons of people. That's the goal. So, the Letters to Myself project. This is a project that has kind of been a conglomerative of a couple of different influences. This started as something that I learned in rehab. I have read about different parts of it through different books, and it's all just kind of come together, and I created it into one function. So basically, what it is, I do it over a 5-day period in my group. Each day, you write a different letter to yourself. These are guided letters, so you are given a topic. I provide that information to you, and then you take the time to yourself to write those letters out. Now, it's one of those things of you get out of it what you put into it. So the more effort you put into it, the more of yourself you put into it, the more you're going to get back from it. So let's talk about the letters. The first letter is day one, about pride. This is pride of self. Now there's a whole lot that can be said about pride, but there's a difference between being proud of something and being prideful. Being proud of yourself is important. And this doesn't have to be something that is huge and, you know, like Grand Canyon huge. This is for every person looks very different. For one person, you may be proud that you got the whole house cleaned over the weekend. For another person, you may be proud that you made it out of bed, that you made it through the day without having a breakdown. For every single person, it looks different. And that's okay. That's the beauty of this because you're not writing this for anybody else but yourself. So that is the whole goal of day one is to find that thing that you can be proud of. And it's not easy. And, it gets harder as it goes along. Each letter gets a little bit harder, but there's a reason for that. But that's your first letter is being proud of yourself. Then we move on to letter number 2. That is about forgiveness. Now, this one, especially for myself, is always the hardest one. And I've done all of these letters multiple times. I have found, speaking for myself, that I can forgive other people for just about anything. I have forgiven some of the most atrocious acts, but I don't forgive myself for things. I hold on to it. I blame myself. I use it against myself. And it's one of those things of being able to let go. Oftentimes, when we forgive somebody else for something, we forgive them, we move on, it's whatever. But when it comes to ourselves, we will hold on to those things till the day we die. Why are we doing that? And let's really break this down. It's not doing us any good. It's not doing others any good. all it's doing is causing harm. So, all of that being said, it's time to forgive. Now, when you write the letter of forgiveness, it does not have to be a laundry list of things. Because, A, I don't know about y'all, but that would take me forever. It would never get done. And I'd give up. Find one thing, one hurt that you've caused yourself. I'm going to throw out an example. As many of my followers know, I was an addict for 8 years. I caused great harm to myself, not only through drugs, but also through self harm. So I had to go through and find things, make myself a small list of things that I wanted to forgive myself for. And it's not easy. And I cried a whole lot of tears when I wrote it. But afterwards, it was like a weight was lifted. Now, one thing that I have done with this letter is after the fact, because it is, when you forgive, you are supposed to let go. That's what you're doing. It's a cathartic thing. I have actually burned the letter after the fact. Now, if you choose to do that, which I do highly encourage, it's one of those things that I recommend, I advocate, do it safely, outside, in a container that is fireproof, all that good stuff. Take precautions. Don't just like light a match and go to town. But that's the second letter is about forgiveness. So you're going to forgive and you're going to release it out, release it away from you. You cannot take it back once you've released it. The third letter is about acceptance, accepting yourself as you are. Now, the reason this letter is so very important is because if you cannot accept yourself, then you cannot expect anybody else to accept you either. So again, it does not, I'm not asking you to accept the whole. Find something that you like about yourself. Find one thing. It could be that you like your eyes. It could be the fact that you like that you're always willing to give to somebody else. It doesn't have to be, I love myself 100% today and that's where it's at, because nobody's there. I am not there. I have not arrived. If anybody says they have, they are lying to you. But it's a matter of, accept things one thing at a time. And this can, I do recommend write one letter, but this is also something that you could turn into a daily affirmation. I've actually seen it recommended by many, many, many people. Put a sticky note on your mirror and go to the mirror while you're doing your hair, doing your makeup, whatever, and just talk to yourself. You look really good today. Your eye makeup is on point. Just those little affirmations, those little encouragements. That's what this letter of acceptance is. You're encouraging yourself. You're finding something good and something beautiful, and you're loving it. Now, the next letter is probably the hardest letter, but it is my absolute favorite letter, and that is the love letter. This is a love letter to yourself. There are movies about love letters. All of us did it in school. Those little letters of, do you like me? Check yes or no. And you always got so excited if you got that. Well, that's what you're going to write yourself. I want you to make a list of things, and this is where you will make a list of things that you love about yourself. And it doesn't have to be 20 items. It could be 3. You could be in that place where there's only 3, and that's okay. That is perfectly okay to be in that place. But in that letter, you are going to list those 3 things that you love about yourself. And you are going to list why you love those things about yourself. That is the beauty of the letter. Like I said, it's probably one of the hardest letters. But in the long run, it is my absolute favorite letter. The last letter is your letter of intent. As you've gone through the 5 letters, you've noticed things. If you've put in the work, it's brought up some stuff. So now you need to decide what you're going to do with that stuff. There are multiple options. You can say, hey, I'm good. Throw up my hands. I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. And that's okay. You can decide, you know what? I need some work. I need to work on this. It's time to sit down, make some goals, and take care of some of these issues. And that's good. You could decide, hey, you know what? I need therapy. I've got problems that I cannot handle on my own. I need help. And you've got the options of therapy, of a life coach like myself. There are a lot of different options. But this is where you're going to make those decisions, is in this letter of intent. It's kind of like when you write a letter of intent to your boss. I intend to do this, 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 and this. And this is what I hope to get in return. That's what you're doing in this letter. So those are the 5 days. Now, this can be done a multitude of different ways. You could do it as a 5-day project, how I do my workshop. You can do it as a journal. I do have the book for sale on Amazon. I've included the link in the description for this video. So you could do it as a journal. You can do it all in one sitting. Whatever works best for you. The main thing is that if you decide this is something you want to do, that you do it. Start to finish, you do it. So that is the Letters to Myself project. If this is a project or a workshop that you would like to have hosted in a group that you run, reach out to me. I do have a 1-day version of this. It's actually a couple hours, but it can be done in your group. I'm happy to lead that for you, for men or women in your group. This doesn't work just for men or just for women. It works for both. I have noticed women tend to be a little bit more open, but again, it works for both. So however you want to do it, definitely, if you decide you do want this in your group, send me an email at podcast@thisfatgirllife.com, and I am happy to sit down with you and discuss the how-tos and whys and all that good stuff to get that set up for your group. All of that being said, I really hope that you choose to do these letters. They are something, like I said, I've done them myself many times, and they make a huge difference. They make an impact. They really, really do. I have learned things about myself. I've learned things about I don't want to repeat myself, but I've learned my own personal triggers through it. I've found faults of mine, areas that I needed to work on. And I've realized things about myself that I actually really loved that I never thought I did. So that's all I have for you for tonight's episode. Again, if you would like to host this as a workshop for a group that you have, reach out to me at podcast@thisfatgirllife.com and we can discuss it further. You can purchase the book on Amazon. It is an ebook format for $2.99. Click on the link in the description. And if you would like to support this podcast, just go to buymeacoffee.com/thisfatgirllife. As a supporter, you will get supporter only content. You will be added to a supporter only group, and you will get nifty little things there. I hope you guys have a wonderful night. Bye.